This four-game series, Mark Buehrle, fresh off his 200th career win, will take on Kevin Cash's Tampa Bay Rays. They've won both of these first two games. They were both one-run games, and they have really manufactured runs throughout the first two ball games. Steven Souza Jr. is in the 2 spot. He hit his first home run of the season last night. In this series, he's 4 for 8. He had a 3-hit night last night, including that long home run and a bunt single. And Tim Beckham is down in the 9th hole playing second base. His last 4 games, he's been swinging a hot bat.
Mark Buehrle picked up that 200th win last time out. He bested the Baltimore Orioles 2 runs in 6 innings. He pitched around 10 base runners, though, stranding 6 of them, and the defense made several big plays behind Buehrle in that ball game. He knows all about the Tampa Bay Rays. He faced them 6 times last year. Struck out 24 Tampa Bay Ray batters, the most against any opponent last season.
Got off to a great start down in Tampa Bay, and a chance to throw a complete game shutout in his first start of the season last year. Gets ahead of Brendan Guyer. Guyer's the left fielder. There's a 2 bouncer to short. Reyes gobbles it up in time. 1 down. Well, the defense has been a bright spot for this club early in the season, and Kevin Pillar is in left. He's played great. Dalton Pompey is the center fielder, and Jose Bautista, he always plays top-notch defense. Donaldson, Reyes, Travis, and Smoke around the infield. Deanna Navarro gets the start with Mark Buehrle on the mound tonight.
You know who else has played well on defense is Jose Reyes at shortstop. He has got great range and great arm, and I think he's going to really like playing on this surface here. He made a play last night that saved a run for the Blue Jays, taking away a base hit from Bobby Wilson.
This is Steven Souza Jr. The home run he hit last night in his first at-bat came on the first pitch, and he hammered it. It was the longest home run hit this season, 463 feet. His 3rd major league home run. And then just for good measure, he capped off a night with a bunt single leading off the 8th and came around to score the game-winning run.
That home run was the longest hit by a Ray since Carlos Pena a few seasons ago. I believe he hit it about 485 feet.
Souza is late on that pitch, and that's what Buehrle will do. You see 84 miles an hour on the scoreboard, but Buehrle beat him with that fastball because he sets it up so effectively.
He uses that changeup, which has been a very important pitch for him. We'll talk about that a little bit more as the broadcast goes along, and there it is. Let's take a look at Mark Buehrle. Last year had a big year, 13 wins for the Toronto Blue Jays, and this is what he uses to try and get you out. Note the fastball velocity, just under 84 miles an hour. That's the lowest average fastball velocity in 2014, and he won 13 games. The changeup is very effective. He'll cut the fastball in and away to the lefties and mix in a curveball every now and then. But you're right, the changeup is very important for him because it does a lot of things for him. It sets up that fastball.
This is the switch-hitting shortstop, Asdrubal Cabrera. He was the DH in last night's game. There's a breaking ball inside. 2-0 to Cabrera. There's a fly ball into center. Pompey to his left. Gets there. Camps under it. Makes the out. Good start for Mark Buehrle. It took him just 10 pitches to retire the side in order. Need to get the bats going. They've scored 2 runs or less in 3 of their last 4 games. John Gibbons knows this team is going to hit. They just got to get it going. So Gibbons has shaken up the lineup a bit. Reyes is in the leadoff spot. He's been swinging a hot bat over his last 6 games. 10 for 25 with 4 ribbies for the shortstop. And then Josh Donaldson, he moves up because he too is swinging the bat well. John Gibbons did this last year when he put Jose Bautista in the 2 spot, trying to spark the offense.
And it worked. They had a big month of May last season. This is Erasmo Ramirez for the Tampa Bay Rays. He gets the spot start tonight after the Rays debut in relief. That was last Friday. It wasn't very good. 6 hits and 3 walks in 2 innings out of the bullpen for Ramirez. He was acquired right at the end of spring training from Seattle.
Reyes bunts it out in front of home. Rene Rivera. Boy, what a nice play. Rivera made a terrific play in the opener on Monday night. This was a much more difficult play. He had to go a lot further to get the bunt off the bat of Reyes.
And he, in one movement, catches it with his bare hand and throws a strike over to first base. This guy can really catch. Watch how he picks it up, fires it on line over to first base. Actually falls down after he throws it. How many times have you seen that ball thrown down the right field line? That time right at the first baseman where he could step to the ball.
Good idea by Reyes. Good play by the Rays catcher. Now it's Josh Donaldson batting second. Donaldson for his career has hit everywhere in the lineup except leadoff. He has hit 34 games batting second. This is the first time he's done it with the Blue Jays. John Gibbons just trying to spark the offense, making the adjustment with Donaldson. There's a ball ripped down the left side, and just a matter of time. You know, there's been so much talk about, well, the Blue Jays haven't hit any home runs. They've only played 2 games here, and they've been facing some tough pitching. And when you look at the starters that the Blue Jays have dealt with, they have faced some tough starters, and the individual matchups certainly don't favor the Blue Jay hitters.
The career numbers of some of the bigger Blue Jay hitters in the lineup against some of the pitchers that they have seen early in the season are not very good. They have had to battle and scratch and claw for everything so far this year.
How about that base hit? That'll spark something. Donaldson takes that pitch away and just slaps it right where the second baseman's normally standing.
This is an easy base hit, and I don't know why more of the players don't do it, especially against a guy who doesn't throw that hard. Watch Donaldson swing, hit a little ground ball, and say, hey, guys over there in Tampa, why are you putting 3 guys on the left side? I'll beat you every time.
So Donaldson's aboard for Jose Bautista. And you know, we have seen it in the first 2 games. Tampa Bay continues to shift, especially in the middle of this order, and pitch the hitters away.
We were talking about that last night. Just every now and then, why don't you just take a shot? It's easy. Major league batters can handle the bat and hit a ground ball to second base. You can take what the opposition gives you, and they are giving Jose Bautista the whole right side of the infield.
Yeah, and we talked about it last night. Brooke Jacoby, the hitting coach for the Blue Jays, talked about, well, you know, you don't want to change your swing and you don't want to give up your strength. Well, Bautista, with a wicked swing, fouls it back. Certainly, Bautista's strength is hitting the ball out of the ballpark. And Jacoby says if he gives that up, then Tampa Bay is winning. And then if you have to adjust your swing to manipulate the ball through that right side, then they've won on 2 counts.
The way the Blue Jays have not been hitting home runs here, I'm taking what the defense gives you. Josh Donaldson's at bat right there was a perfect example of that. Just a little inside out swing, and it's easy. Base hit. That'll get your confidence going.
Two and one pitch. Just off the plate. They continue to work Bautista down and away. Erasmo Ramirez, Pat mentioned, Tampa Bay picked him up on March 31st, right at the end of spring training. High and deep drive to left. Brandon Guyer looking up. This one's going to carry out. Goodbye home run. Everything is right again with the Blue Jays.
That'll quiet the critics, won't it?
When home run hitters hit them, they go out.
Boy, he kept trying to go fastball away against Jose, and he missed his spot big time.
Off-speed pitch, and Encarnacion swings over the top of it.
Watch where the catcher Rivera set up, where he wants it, and it leaks right back over the plate, right down Broadway.
You saw that catcher reach back to the inside part of the plate, and Bautista, with his second home run, has put the Blue Jays up 2-0. Oh, that John Gibbons, he's a wizard. He put Donaldson in the 2 spot, and then Bautista does this. Way to go, Skip. There's the bench coach saying, hey, that was a great move. It was my idea, wasn't it?
Yeah. Get in some of that right there. You got to do that, I think, though, as a manager. If it's not working out, you have the right to change things up just a little bit, go with some matchups.
This is Deanna Navarro catching Mark Burley tonight. Josh Donaldson, he's one of those guys that's going to get red hot. You won't be able to get him out. And he's not going to be thinking about singles to right all season long. Navarro taps it on the ground, and Ramirez will go to the bag. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays score 2. Jose Bautista with his second home run of the season over the wall in left. Thank you, Jamie. Busy night for you, trying to keep up with everything that's going on Sportsnet. Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead thanks to Jose Bautista's second home run of the season. This is Evan Longoria. Longoria, certainly the fixture in this Rays lineup. A lot of changes around him. There's a ball up the middle. That's going to sneak through the Blue Jays shift, and Longoria's aboard. Leadoff single in the second.
So relaxed at the plate. He lets that ball travel. Takes it right back through the middle. He's looking for a double. They've held him down. One more double and he'll set the team record for most doubles. They've pitched him tough.
terrific player. This is Desmond Jennings, who is the DH tonight. Kevin Cash has used that DH to rotate his players. Pushes this bunt foul in front of the screen. Jennings dropped down in the order. In years past, everyone thought of him as being the leadoff guy, but he's not your prototypical leadoff guy in that he's kind of a free swinger. He doesn't seem to excel when he thinks about getting on base. Kevin Cash says, you know what, I don't want you to think about it. I want you to swing the bat.
Swing the bat. Let me get some extra base hits out of that bat. And he can still run. He's running wild so far here the first week of the season.
He's got 4 stolen bases in 5 attempts.
Thought he had number 5 yesterday, but I went to review, and they confirmed that he was out.
In the 6th inning of the game last night, Russell Martin threw him out, and the Rays appealed. The appeal was denied. There's a tapper to second, and look at the turn by Travis as Donaldson cut in front of Reyes. That ball wasn't a typical double play ball, but Evan Travis has really shown the ability to turn quickly at second.
Quickly, and I think he'll learn that this is really a play that he doesn't have a chance to get a fast runner like a Desmond Jennings. He'll have to gauge the speed of the ball that's hit and the speed of the runner. And that little tapper to the third baseman, he's really not going to get a runner like Jennings out at first.
Well, that's such a great point, and as he gets more experience, he'll understand that. Burley is tough to run on. He just doesn't give you an opportunity at first, and he's got an excellent pickoff. This is Logan Forsythe, who's playing first base tonight with Burley on the mound. There's a little looper into center field. Pompey is not going to get it. He plays it on a hop, goes to second in time. Oh, what a play! Dalton Pompey throws out Desmond Jennings, who had to hold up to make sure that ball landed safely. But then he played it perfectly and instinctively threw to second to get the force out.
Boy, what a play. The Blue Jays have been throwing up some defense. Watch him in center field. And Jennings doesn't know what to do, and he short hops it, gathers it. And watch how he throws like an infielder. You see infielders like that with that quick snap throw to get the out. Jennings is going to hang out there. Even with his speed, he's just not sure if he's going to come in and make the catch. And that's a tough play for the runner. You go more than halfway and he catches the ball, you're out at first base. You don't go halfway and it bounces in like that, you're going to be out at second base. Great play right there by Dalton.
The Rays are going to review the call at second, and they lost their challenge last night when they asked for the review on Jennings being called out at second. That was in the 6th. This is an early gamble by Kevin Cash.
Yeah, his second inning. I'm a little bit surprised right here. They must have some video confirmation on this one, because if they lose it, they lose their challenge for the rest of the game.
Tell you what, the umpire, Chris Guccione, gets himself in pretty good position, and that was tough to tell where his foot is. Reyes catches the ball. You see the ball coming over the top of your screen, and he is sliding and now makes contact with the base. Guccione kept moving and got himself into a good position to make the call.
This might be a little bit better play, showing of the play right there. There he is. He has caught the ball right there, and he is just before, at least it looked before Jennings got to the bag. Banged out by Guccione. In last night's game, when Jennings was thrown out, they just couldn't confirm if Devin Travis tagged him on the arm.
Boy, that is close, isn't it? The ball is just not in the glove until, boy, it looks like the ball hit the glove and the foot hit the bag about the same time. So if that's the case, you've got to believe the call is going to stand up.
It's got to be definitive proof. What I was saying, they didn't have the definitive proof last night. They thought that he tagged him on the arm. Yeah, replay just didn't show that.
Well, with the replay we had last night, looked like Travis missed him.
Yes. Yeah. But it also looked like he could have hit the arm. This one looked like it was in the glove. But they need that definitive confirmation to overrule this one and change the call. I don't know if there's enough evidence there.
Taking a long time to review this. Now they have a decision. Umpires taking the headsets off. Jeff Kellogg is the home plate umpire, and he throws out that right fist. The call stands, and they are out of challenges here in the second inning.
You got to be 100% sure, don't you, if you're going to challenge this early in a ball game, especially all the one-run games that the Tampa Bay Rays have played so far this year.
Well, here's another reason why Kevin Cash might rethink that challenge. You got Burley, lefty, and your next batter is a left-handed batter, Kevin Kiermaier. 2 outs. Logan Forsythe, he almost drifted too far. He's not a real base stealer. He's 1 for 1 this season. Burley has 99 career pickoffs. He's just 4 shy of Andy Pettitte for the all-time lead in pickoffs. Sharply hit. Travis stays with it in time to retire Kiermaier. Longoria gets the leadoff single. The Rays strand a base runner, go to the bottom of the second. The Blue Jays lead it 2-0.
Jays on Sports. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Back here at Rogers Center, Blue Jays have an early lead. They have scored 2 runs. Donaldson with a 1-out single through the right side of the infield. Then Jose Bautista hit his second home run of the season. It'll be Smoke, Pilar, and Dalton Pompey for the Jays. Justin Smoke and Erasmo Ramirez were teammates in Seattle, so he knows all about Ramirez. When you hit against a former teammate, who had the upper hand in your mind?
I think they did, because they would sit there and they would watch and they would say, okay, if I ever face this guy, this is how I would pitch to him. So they're going to pitch the way they know how to get you out. You as a hitter, you had no idea what their breaking ball looked like, or if their changeup, what that looked like, or what his thoughts were to try and get you out. I think they have more information now. You know that they like to throw a fastball in this situation, breaking ball in that situation, but you're not sure what it looks like. I think what Justin Smoke could do is look for a changeup. He likes throwing that changeup.
Ramirez is 24 years old. He was born in Nicaragua. He is one of 13 native-born Nicaraguans to play in the major leagues. His idol, of course, El Presidente, Dennis Martinez. A leadoff walk. Let's check it with Barry Davis.
Thanks a lot, Buck. I'm with John Burley, or as he likes to be known, Pops. And I want to ask you, Pops, you've had a chance to see your son pitch in a lot of circumstances. You saw the no-hitter, sitting at home watching on TV, and seeing him collect that 200th victory. We know what it meant for him. What did it mean for you?
Oh, gosh, it was unbelievable. You know, to see your son, your kids achieve a goal in their life. That was another milestone for Mark. He had so many, and this is just another one they had to his record. But it was really, really great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a little bit more, but even as much as like his first win, and every one since. You know, each one has a little something special to it. This one took a little something on top.
On the mound, he is a model of consistency. 200 innings every year. As a child, was he a model of consistency? Is that just part of Mark's makeup?
Yes, it is. When he was a young kid, that was one of the things that got him onto the traveling teams and the select teams, was that he was consistent, and everybody knew that. He was trying to, their teams from as far away as 50 miles was trying to draft him because of the way he was, just consistent, and it followed him onto the majors.
One final question I want to ask you, and we've seen the relationship that the younger players have had with Mark, and you like to be called Pops, and Marcus Stroman refers to him as Papa Burley. How proud are you of Mark to be able to not only accomplish what he has on the field, but also be such a role model to a lot of the young players on this team?
I tell you what, I'm really grateful, because all that shows me, my wife and I, and anybody that knows Mark, is, you know, he's following along the steps and following the virtues and the morals that he was raised on. Mark's never been one to turn anybody down for help, regardless of who it is. And for him to do that, to me, is nothing out of the ordinary, because that's just the way Mark is. But I know he felt funny when he first came into the game, because no one did that to him. And he knows how he felt, how lonely he felt, and he doesn't want anybody else to feel that way. And the players of all the players that he's helped has made comment, about him helping.
You can definitely see it in the dugout. Listen, I would call you Mike, but I'll stick with Pops. Pops, thanks so much for joining us, and you must be awfully proud of Mark. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, back to you, Buck.
Thank you, Barry. And how about this Blue Jay rally? A leadoff walk, an opposite field base hit, and a bunt single. The bases are loaded. And they've got Ramirez on the ropes early here in the second.
Oh, I love how Dalton deadens this ball right here on the carpet. The only play for the Tampa Bay Rays is the hope that this ball is going to roll foul, but we know how slow this turf has been. It just dies for an infield hit, and the Blue Jays really have Ramirez on the ropes here in the second.
Devin Travis, the number 9 hitter. Travis went 1 for 4 in last night's game, then hit one to the base of the wall in right field that was caught by Kevin Kiermaier in the 9th inning. This young man off to a good start.
Just stay with the same game plan that has worked for you so far this year. Look for that ball out in front of you. He's off the plate. And think about the middle to right field. That's where his strengths have been so far this season.
What does that do for you as a hitter when you use that lane as your sight path, right center?
I think it helps you really track the ball from the pitcher. Just track it and let it get deep, and you're not overcommitting. You're not fooled. You stay right within your same game plan, and that keeps that front shoulder closed. You can see how far off the plate Devin is. And he has to step towards the pitcher to reach that outside pitch.
Good pitch right down at the bottom of the zone. It's a 2-2 count. Blue Jays trying to add to their lead. They lead at 2-0. Nobody out in the second. Chance to bust it wide open. Another changeup. Big strikeout for Ramirez.
You will get your share of changeup from Erasmo Ramirez. The more he gets into trouble, the more he takes off of the pitches. There's that three-finger change right off that last finger. He's got great arm speed on it, great arm action. Batters only hit 200 off that changeup last year.
Ramirez with the Mariners. Cued off the end of the bat by Reyes. This is trouble. Longoria can't make the play. It'll be a base hit for Reyes. A swinging bunt. And Longoria, after watching the Pompey bunt stay fair, knew it was a do-or-die play. Looked like he was coming home had he fielded it cleanly.
He definitely was coming home on that one. It looked like he was going to try and shovel the ball to Rene Rivera, the catcher. He knew he didn't have a chance to get Reyes. He just runs too well down the first base line. There's the swinging bunt. Here comes Justin Smoke right down the third base line. Yeah, you can see Evan was ready to take that ball and just shovel it to the catcher for the force out.
One out, bases still loaded. Smoke did a good job breaking from third as he stayed on the inside of the third base foul line, blocking the view of the catcher. Get out of here! Deep, and just foul. Josh Donaldson stayed right there at home to have a look.
Making like the umpire. This ball is hooking, and you can see just a couple of feet. Plenty of distance. Now you got to gather yourself right here as a hitter. You just came that close to hitting the ball out for a grand slam. You got to gather yourself a little bit here and get back in the moment.
Donaldson has one career grand slam. And 2.
Hitters will sit on certain pitches against pitchers. That time it looked like Josh was looking for something soft, and Ramirez crossed him up and threw him a fastball.
Fastball upstairs. It's 1-2. Good cut. Just a matter of time before these hot bats come alive. There are some big hitters in the middle of this order, and they have hit in the past, and they're going to hit again.
Yeah, and they've run into some really tough pitching. We talked about that at 6:30. How the pitchers that they have run into so far this first week of the season, they've been tough on them, and they have made good pitches. Tonight, not so much. Look at pitch tracker right there. Last night we were talking about the heat map for Josh Donaldson was down and in. Look where those 3 pitches are for Donaldson, right in his wheelhouse.
Donaldson's only grand slam came against Chris Sale in Chicago back in 2013. Up the middle, base hit. Pillar's in to score. Here comes Pompey. Reyes goes to third, and Donaldson is 2 for 2.
That'll get that RBI total going. That was just a good piece of hit right there. With 2 strikes, he was not going to overcommit. The head goes straight down. He still has that short swing. You can see that head tucked right on that shoulder. Track that ball in. Pillar trots in. Right behind him is Pompey. And with this slow turf, you're going to see a lot of first to thirds, I think. Reyes made it easily without a throw to third base.
Kevin Pillar going against the shift, singled to right field. Scores on the Donaldson 2-run single to center. Jim Hickey with a quick visit to the mound. 2 in the first, 3 here in the second. Still just 1 out. Blue Jays have been champions of the 4-run inning early this season. They've had 4 innings of 4 or more runs so far. Bautista homered his first time up. Keeping that ball away. Another off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that looks like what the message was right there from Jim Hickey. Hey, how about your breaking ball? Your slider or your curveball?
Look at Bautista trying to feather one into that hole on the right side of the infield. This is a game of adjustments, and you can have all the information you want on a pitcher before the game, but in game you got to make adjustments. Now Beckham's making the adjustment. The second baseman moves back over to the first base side of the bag. He's going to move a little bit more now.
Yeah. Slider away, going down and away. And he is seeing that approach now with 2 strikes from Jose. There's an easy RBI out there for Bautista.
He strikes out. That's 3 strikeouts now for Ramirez.
And when I say easy RBI, I'm just talking about a fly ball. That's what you're looking for right here with a runner on third base and less than 2 outs. Ramirez finally shows him the changeup with 2 strikes, and he's got Jose's timing messed up. Now it'll take a 2-out hit to score that run.
Well, Rivera does a good job on balls in the dirt. He's very quick and moves to his right on that breaking pitch in the dirt. Encarnacion struck out in the first. There's a line drive that's going to hang up right to the left fielder, Brandon Guyer. Looked like he had trouble with the lights. But the Blue Jays had 3 more in the second, keyed by Josh Donaldson. 2-run single up the middle. Donaldson now has 5 ribbies for the season.
Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Mark Burley gets the high pop-up off the bat of Rene Rivera, the catcher. Devin Travis almost overran it, 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. The division really stacked up. Boston is 6-2 to start the season, and then Tampa Bay 5-3, Baltimore and Toronto 4-4, and the Yankees are 3-5. There's a bunt, and Donaldson's going to play it on the hop. What a nifty play, but not in time as Tim Beckham beats it out. Bunt base hit for Beckham.
Just could not get enough on that throw. Donaldson, he read it from Beckham, and he got a nice hop to work with. But his momentum is taking him towards home plate. There was a little English on that ball. It spun away from him, and it looked like he just threw him a changeup. Watch the ball take this bounce. It's right up against his heel. Just can't get enough on that throw to get Beckham over at first base.
A 1-out bunt. Brandon Guyer, leadoff man. We've had 2 bunt singles in this game already. Rogers Center has been known to give up home runs. Something you don't see an awful lot of bunt base hits in this ballpark.
I think both of these teams have noticed what this surface does on bunts. Balls that are bunted, that you get a lot of spin, a lot of English on it. It's tough to come in, make the play, and throw accurately over at first base.
Ball and strike. Burley, as he always does, works very quickly. Beckham has a steal. And we mentioned this Rays ball club. They run a lot. They had 4 stolen bases in the game last night. Desmond Jennings had 2 in the opener on Monday night. To give you an idea about the offense of this Rays team, they won the game Monday night with 2 bases loaded walks. That was the extent of their offense. They had 3 hits. A little better move that time, and Beckham wasn't really sure which way to go.
Well, he's got Beckham leaning back towards first base. I think the only way that he's going to be able to steal a base against Mark Burley is to go on first movement and guess with him. And he keeps taking a step back towards first base. He does not have his move down. At times, pitchers will give you a little something that gives away where they're going. If they're coming over to first base or if they're going home, they might raise their arms if they're coming over to first, leave it right at their belt if they're going home, just something like that. But right now, you can see Beckham does not have a clue.
And that's what Burley does so well. He can really get a feel for a base runner. And Burley says he never really looks at the base runner. He just kind of looks at the ground and just has a sense for when he should go over there. Full count. Steven Souza Jr. is on deck.
Here's a good time to go over there.
Guyer fights it off.
Just in case they try to start that runner over there at first base.
On the ground, foul outside of third. Mark Burley is from St. Charles, Louisiana, Missouri, outside of St. Louis. And John, Mark's dad, and his mom, Pat, are both here. And this has really kind of been a family affair for the Blue Jays players early on the season. A lot of families have been traveling with the team. Burley walks Guyer with 1 out. Steven Souza Jr. in his first season with Tampa Bay came into the game last night with just 3 hits, and he had a 3-hit game.
This is the guy they targeted when they were going to give up a lot, which was Will Myers. They gave up, and he has come in. He has shown that he's got some power at that long home run. He also shows that he's got some speed as he drops down that bunt against Miguel Castro and beats it out. He started the year 2 for 16 with an RBI and 8 strikeouts. Last 6 games, though, he's 4 for 8. in this series with a couple of RBIs.
Yeah, Souza has been a pretty good hitter throughout his minor leagues. He was drafted initially by the Washington Nationals. Third-round pick in 2007 out of high school in Washington. He went to high school in Everett, Washington. Breaking ball outside. Souza had thoughts of going to Washington State to play baseball, but when he was drafted in 2007 by the Nationals, he chose to sign and get his professional career underway. Of course, the Blue Jays had a pretty good player that played baseball at Washington State. Big, tall first baseman. He was a pitcher first baseman at Washington State. He won a batting title.
He was pretty good, wasn't he?
He was pretty good.
Johnny O.
Johnny Olerud. Terrific player, never played in the minor leagues. He came right to the big leagues. Well, that's that patented Burley fastball inside. He didn't get the call.
Yeah, he sets you up by throwing some soft stuff away, especially if you're a right-handed batter, trying to get you to look out there and lean out over the plate, and then he'll bust that cutter right in on your hands.
2-2 pitch. Fly ball deep to center. Pompey got a good jump on it right at the edge of the warning track. Beckham left early and he had to hold up at second. He went back to tag, which was the right move, but then he broke before Pompey caught the ball. Had to go back and re-tag second and couldn't advance.
Wow, what a mistake right there. You could tell that the ball was going to stay in the ballpark, and with his speed, he was going to be rounding third base. He goes back. He goes to tag. And for some reason left a little bit too early, and then by then it's too late, and he knows he made a mistake. The runner behind him, Brandon Geyer, who could run a little bit, was tagging. He was running right up his back. He had to put on his brakes.
Asdrubal Cabrera. He flied out to center field his first time up. Burley and Cabrera, they have met up a lot. Cabrera now has 45 at-bats against Burley. They both played in the AL Central. Burley, of course, with the White Sox, and Cabrera with the Indians. So they have been down this road before.
Burley thought he had him right there. You see him ask home plate umpire Jeff Nelson if that ball was away. Trying to fade that ball. You can see right there on pitch tracker. It looked like it might have caught the plate.
Ground ball. Reyes at short. Just in time. Geyer met it close at second, but the Rays will strand a pair. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Mark Burley and the Blue Jays have a 5-0 lead.
That is the official app of Major League Baseball. Listen to live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and BlackBerry. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And looking at that app tonight, you can see that the Orioles have a 1-0 lead on the Yankees thanks to Chris Davis's RBI single. Buck.
Barry, you sure could tell that, and you could also know that everybody's wearing number 42 on this day in honor of the late Jackie Robinson. Of course, Jackie Robinson made his Major League debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. He broke the color barrier at that time, and beginning in 2004, Major League Baseball has honored Jackie Robinson by declaring April 15th Jackie Robinson Day. Of course, Jackie played in Montreal with the Montreal Royals in the minor leagues, and the entire story is a terrific story of how they selected Jackie Robinson to be the guy. Roy Campanella and Don Newcomb were very prominent players, and they were a little bit older than, or not older, but they were more experienced than Jackie, and they thought, well, maybe they would react to the treatment that Jackie was going to get. So Branch Rickey decided that Jackie Robinson would be the best because he knew he was going to have to turn his cheek.
Did you see the movie 42?
Yes.
Pretty good.
Well, you know what? I was fortunate enough to see Rachel Robinson, Jackie's widow, in Cooperstown, and I asked her about the movie and what she thought of it. To me, that's the best critic you can have, and she was very pleased with the way they did the movie. She said she captured most of what really happened, and Rachel Robinson, like Jackie, one of the finest people you'll ever meet, and we had a chance to visit with her in Cooperstown, and I made a point of asking her about the movie because it was right after the movie. In fact, the producer of the movie was being honored at Cooperstown for his efforts in that movie 42.
Well, if you have a chance, fans out there of baseball and baseball history, go see it. It's an excellent movie.
Everybody in baseball wearing 42 today. Down in Navarro takes the leadoff walk. Let's check in with Barry Davis.
And guys, you can even see tributes to Jackie Robinson from space today. This is NASA astronaut Terry Virts, currently on the International Space Station. He sent this picture out this morning. Kind of neat. He's a Dodgers fan today, normally an Orioles fan, but everyone is a Dodgers fan and a fan of Jackie Robinson today. Buck?
That's a beautiful uniform, the Dodger uniform with that B on that blue hat. It represents Brooklyn, of course. And Jackie Robinson was a terrific athlete, a four-sport athlete at UCLA.
Track was his #1 sport, wasn't it?
Yeah. He had so many great teammates on that Dodger team. Pee-wee Reese is the one that really helped him become a big part of the team.
Player, I'm going to put you on the spot right here. Player, most influential player in baseball history?
Oh, I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He and Babe Ruth together?
Yeah.
For what they did and what they meant to the game?
Well, unfortunately, there were so many great players that weren't allowed to play in the major leagues before Jackie Robinson that, you know, they talk about Josh Gibson. You and I have been to the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City. And some of the great players, that Satchel Paige, he didn't get the big leagues till he was like 47, I believe. Josh Gibson, one of the great catchers of all time with power. Of course, Roy Campanella came up with the Dodgers very late in his career. And unfortunately, Roy Campanella had that tragic accident, paralyzed him, and his career was cut short. But the Dodgers and Branch Rickey certainly had a lot to do with building the path. Smoke hits it to the first baseman. Navarro was running on the pitch, so they'll have no play at second.
Make a grand entrance during the DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Kevin Pillar singled and scored in the second. We had talked about Pillar in our open, how he was a 32nd round pick of the Blue Jays, and he was basically drafted as a filler player. Fill out the rosters, a little bit more experience coming out of college, and nobody really kind of took him seriously. He was not a top prospect. That's past Longoria down the left field line. Navarro's being waved home. There'll be no throw, and Pillar slides in safely at second. That hot shot went off the glove of Longoria. Pillar swinging the hot bat.
Little things within the game that you don't notice until a run scores. They started Deoner Navarro when Justin Smoak was at the plate, or that would have been a double play, but by starting the runner, he's into scoring position, and then Longoria misses this one. I was asking him about the surface here, and he said it's a tough playing surface. He says they need a little bit more sand underneath it to get a truer bounce, but that one stayed down, and Navarro can come around to score. But those little things within the game, starting that runner, Navarro at first base, got the Blue Jays a run.
Pillar picks up the double. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored already tonight. Dalton Pompey had a bunt single his first time up. His bunt loaded the bases for the Jays in the second. The Rays have 3 of their starting pitchers on the DL, so Ramirez getting a spot start tonight. Last night it was Matt Andriese who started.
And they need some length also, the Rays. Good pitch there by Ramirez. They need some length so they don't burn out their bullpen. They made a roster move today.
They brought up a right-handed reliever, Jose Dominguez, and sent Kirby Yates out as Yates pitched in. They needed some fresh arms, so they went down their minor leagues and called upon Dominguez. He is in their pen tonight. 2 outs now for Devin Travis. He struck out his first time up. This is a pop fly down the right field line, and Souza will not have a play on it. The bottom third of this batting order throughout the entire season has been pretty productive. And we had talked about the Blue Jays might have one of the best 1 through 5s in the batting order. Top of the order is going to produce, but boy, they have been getting good production from the bottom of the order.
Clutch hitting. Lots of clutch hitting from the bottom of the order. Just a matter of time until the top 5 get their act together. And when they do, watch out.
Crooked numbers. They're going to be crooked numbers everywhere. Tonight they've had a couple innings with crooked numbers. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, a single run here in the third, but they're not done. 3-1 now with 2 outs. Pillar in scoring position at second.
He can get a big secondary lead out of second. Look where the middle infielders, the shortstop, the second baseman are playing. They're protecting about a ball on the ground.
There's a ball drilled to right and deep, and they're not going to get this one off the wall. Pillar's in to score. Devin Travis with a stand-up 2-out double. He was robbed of an extra base hit in last night's game. They were going to catch this one.
They were playing a little bit deeper last night. It was late in the ball game. They were playing no doubles defense, so they're playing just a little bit deeper. And Kiermaier was able to run this one down. Tonight, though, high fastball, that inside-out swing, and he's got some juice the other way. That ball is hit and hit hard right off the top of the wall for extra bases.
For Travis, that's his second double of the season. Back to the top of the order. Reyes had a little swinging bunt up the third base line in second, picked up an RBI. Erasmo Ramirez had 7 different stints with the Mariners last year. He was the Mariners' Chad Jenkins.
Chad had 6, didn't he? Ramirez did not have a good start to his Tampa Bay Ray career either. 6 hits, 7 runs in 2 innings out of the bullpen last Friday.
Reyes taking all the way, takes his strike.
More of the same here tonight.
It's a high fly ball to shallow left field. The shortstop Asdrubal Cabrera makes the call, makes the catch. Another couple of runs for the Blue Jays, capped off by a 2-out RBI double off the bat of the number 9 hitter Devin Travis. The young man looks comfortable in his first big league time.
Donaldson just missed hitting a grand slam tonight, but here's one that you can definitely get to, and it's Thursday, April 23rd, Blue Jays against the Orioles, 7:07 p.m. The combo includes a ticket to the game, hot dog, nachos, popcorn, peanuts, an apple, and a soft drink. Tickets start at $45. Go to BlueJays.com for more information. Bye.
Barry, look at you tying in tonight's action with the Pro Bowl. Good job. Grand Slam combo. This is Evan Longoria. Longoria had a single off Burley to start the second. He was out on the fielder's choice at second base. Mark Burley has had his problems with the American League East teams. Generally, they are loaded offensively, and of course, Burley played a majority of his career with the White Sox. That's right at the top of the zone for his strength.
And he's a fly ball pitcher. In American League East ballparks, they have some small ballparks. Fenway Park, Camden Yards, Yankee Stadium, the right field. Wow. Way to come back, Mark Burley.
That is carving up the strike zone right there for Burley. That's strikeout number 2. And we mentioned Burley picked up his 200th career win last time out Friday night in Baltimore. He's 4th on the active win leaderboard. Tim Hudson, CC Sabathia, Bartolo Colon, then Burley. Former Blue Jay A.J. Burnett is 5th in a distant 45 games behind Burley. Donaldson dives, knocks it down, stays with it, and throws wide of first. Desmond Jennings reaches. Boy, Donaldson did a good job, and when he turned around, he found that baseball on the turf, picked it up, and fired wide of the mark. It should be a base hit.
An accurate throw, and he might have got him. Look at the stretch. He knocks it down, and it stays right there. Reacts. Look at that one motion. He spins, fires from his knee. And if it was a little bit more accurate, that would have been the play of the night.
I think Donaldson likes his role here with the Blue Jays. He's front and center and a lot of things going on. Just 3 hits for the Rays. Two of them have been infield hits. That one by Jennings, and then the bunt single by Beckham.
2 infield hits, and then the solid single by Longoria. Burley is really in the head right now of Desmond Jennings over at first base. Desmond has shortened up his lead at first and is actually going back to the bag. Some of that has to do that he's down 7-0. I don't think you ever want your momentum going back to the base where you're coming from. You want to get a secondary lead and have it going towards the bag.
That's a fair ball. Donaldson knocks it down again and throws high to first. Not in time. Logan Forsythe with an infield hit.
I think it's going to take some time for these new Blue Jays, especially the fielders, to get an idea of what the ball bounces like on this surface. Donaldson dives, and you can see that ball stayed down. Just couldn't get it cleanly. Knocks it down, and then Forsythe runs too well. Beat that out.
Blue Jays infielders are very comfortable with Justin Smoke at first base. They just turn it loose and very confident that Smoke can flag it down. This is Kevin Kiermaier, the center fielder. He grounded out the second baseman his first time up.
I have played on this surface. I've taken ground balls on this surface. This is a tough playing field. You're not sure you're going to get that true hop every single time, and it's going to take some time for these fielders to get acclimated to it.
You played on this surface?
Well, not this new surface, but it's just like
the original,
turf.
Yeah,
you know, it's put together in pieces, and they've got that black granular rubberized material in it. It's the exact same type of field. It's just newer.
And because it's newer, it's got an awful lot of those rubber granules on it, and it's soft. It just hasn't become compacted.
That's exactly right. It'll take tricky hops. Brett Laurie was really good on this surface. He made some great plays down there at third base, and I'm sure Donaldson will do the same.
1-2 off the plate now. 2-2. Ground ball to Burley. The Gold Glover has it and throws it wide of second, and all hands are safe. Burley's a 4-time Gold Glover. That was a tailor-made comebacker, but he threw to the third base side of second. Reyes had to come off the bag to catch the ball, and everybody's safe.
Even though it was a comebacker on one hop, Kiermaier runs so well to go pitcher to second and over to first base. It was still going to be close. You can see from that throw from Burley, it took Reyes off the bag. Error, and the bases are loaded.
Reyes did a heck of a job of catching that ball and keeping it from going into center. Catcher Rene Rivera takes a first pitch strike. For Burley, that's his 20th career error. As we mentioned, he's won 4 Gold Gloves. Foul ball off the shin guard of Rene Rivera.
Well, if he makes a pitch right here, it's all academic.
Yeah. Even if he gets another comebacker, I bet you he didn't make a bad throw again. He has turned 44 double plays in his career. Extra infielder you have when Burley's on the mound.
You hear pitchers say, hey, you know, when a fielder makes a mistake like that, he goes, I'll pick you up. Don't worry, I'll pick up my team. Well, he's got to pick himself up right here. Make a pitch right here, get that ball on the ground and see if that infield can turn it for him.
7-0 Blue Jays. Did he go? Laz Diaz at first said no swing.
And that patented cutter right on the inside part of the plate.
Reaches for that pitch down and away. He'll make you go back and forth. Pitches in and out, up and down, changes speeds.
And if he feels you're leaning out over the plate, he'll bust you inside. We haven't seen him try to cut a fastball to a right-handed batter on the outside part of the plate yet.
Another off-speed pitch. Burley made his first start of the season a year ago against Tampa Bay. He went 8 2/3, gave up 4 hits, walked 1, and struck out 11. That was the game where he really had that inside pitch working for him.
He had them frozen all afternoon. They were almost taken by surprise, if you will. There it is. That was the pitch that I was looking for right there after a couple of changeups down and away. That cut fastball where right-handers give up on it. You're taken by surprise now, it'll probably go right back inside.
Ground ball. Reyes with a nice grab to Travis. Academic, what a play. 6-4-3 on the double play. Reyes picks up Burley. 7-0 Blue Jays. And it all started in the first. Jose Bautista goes deep with a man aboard, his second home run of the season, and got the Jays off and running.
Warmer, so why not bring the kids to a ball game this Saturday, April 18th? It is Junior J Saturday, presented by Boston Pizza, as the Jays host the Braves at 107. Special price tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Go to BlueJays.com for more. Buck, do you think I could pass for under 14?
Yeah, I think you could. If they ever had a tape measure down there, you'd pass for sure.
Okay, there we go. There it is.
You know, you go to the amusement parks where you have to be
this tall to ride the rides.
You're in, Barry.
Saturday, the pitching matchup. It'll be the Atlanta Braves in for that Junior Jays Saturday. Alex Wood, the left-hander, will go up against R.A. Dickey, so make sure you call the Blue Jays and get some tickets for that Junior Jays Saturday. This is Josh Donaldson. He is 2 for 2. Donaldson was moved up into the 2 spot for tonight's game. It's the 35th time in his career he's hit second. So far, so good. Hot shot past the shortstop into left field. Asdrubal Cabrera kind of backpedaled trying to play the hop, and the hop went right under his glove.
He didn't know how to field that ball. Should I come and get it, or should I lay back? It's another pitch out over the middle of the plate by Ramirez, and Donaldson smoked it. And watch the shortstop, not sure how to play it. Come in or go back. He went back, and the ball went underneath his glove.
He's charged with an error. First error of the season for the Rays shortstop. That's only the third error Tampa Bay has turned so far. Kansas City has committed just one error, and of course the Royals are off to a great start at 7-0.
One of those errors by Tampa by the pitcher Chris Archer.
They've always emphasized pitching and defense in Tampa Bay, and they've tightened up their defense this year. Look out. The Rays have action in their bullpen as Erasmo Ramirez now thrown 80 pitches. That's Jeff Beliveau, the only left-hander they have in their bullpen. Kevin Cash with his pitching coach Jim Hickey. There goes Donaldson. He got a great jump. Donaldson was 8 for 8 in steal attempts last year. He picks his spots very well.
Still early. I think you still have to pour it on right here. It's just the 4th inning. And because Ramirez doesn't strike out a lot of batters, they can start that runner, stay out of the double play.
Running again. This ball is fouled outside of third. It'll be interesting to see how John Gibbons sets up his lineup from this point. He's going to be flexible, and we mentioned he used Batista in a 2-spot last year, trying to get the offense going a bit. There's a walk. Fastball up and away. 2 aboard.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Third walk issued by Ramirez. First and second, nobody out for Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin's the DH tonight.
Boy, and Edwin is due against Ramirez. He's the type of hitter that will go up there in RBI situations, and he's done his homework, and he'll sit on certain pitches.
Edwin questioned that strike call. That ball crossed up Rivera. It was a wicked sinking fastball, and Rivera's out to talk to Ramirez.
Well, if you're going to get crossed up, isn't a fastball a better ball to get crossed up on?
No, actually it's not, because it seems as if it's 150 miles an hour. You're anticipating a breaking ball or a changeup, and then you get that fastball, and it seems like it's shot out of a cannon.
He was lucky there where he
got a glove on it, yeah.
And it hit Edwin and bounced right to his feet.
Ball on his strike. That comeback fastball caught the outside corner. Blue Jays have scored in each of the first 3 innings, threatening again here in the 4th. They scored 2, 3, and 2, and they've got 2 aboard, nobody out here in the 4th inning.
He needs something right here to try and get Encarnacion. And that's not it.
Took a shot with that fastball. Yonder Navarro is on deck. He's a switch hitter. Navarro is 0 for 1 with a walk. Left-hander Jeff Beliveau is ready in the Rays bullpen. Off-speed pitch pulled over Louis Rivera at 3rd.
Edwin is such a good 2-strike hitter. Again, he'll still sit on pitches in certain situations. He's done his homework. He has a little bit of a history. He knows what the guy's going to try and do to get him, and he'll look for it.
It's a high fly ball into shallow right. Long run for Souza. He's going to get there and makes the catch. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Kevin Cash has come out to the mound. He's made a pitching change. Erasmo Ramirez is out of the ball game. It'll be the left-hander Jeff Beliveau in to face Yonder Navarro when we come back. Disappointing start for Erasmo Ramirez. He goes 3 1/3, gives up 8 hits. He's been charged with 7 runs so far. The base runners aboard are his responsibility.
And the responsibility of the new pitcher, that's Jeff Beliveau, is to keep him out there. There are the numbers that he has put up this year in just 4 games. 4 appearances, he's gotten 4 outs. He's a left-handed specialist, really. Fastball, changeup, slider. They are looking to try and just piece this together the rest of the way here because they are short.
Yonder Navarro batting right-handed. Again, it looked like Rivera may have gotten crossed up. The base runners are going to move up. That ball goes off his glove, and you can see he's asked for time. He's going to go to the mound, and they just had a meeting on the mound. This is a changeup.
80 miles an hour. 80 miles an hour, and he's crossed up right off the top of the glove. It's a pass ball. And the runners will move up, and that'll bring the infield in.
Stanley Cup playoffs are underway, and you can see the Blackhawks against the Predators. Game 1, it's on now on Sportsnet 360. Infield is in. Blue Jays lead it 7-0. And Navarro pops it over the Rays dugout, out of play. Blue Jays hitters, and so many major league clubs do this, but during batting practice they will have a routine. Infield in, infield back, get him in from third. So right now Navarro's thinking about getting a ball up in the zone and he can drive over the drawn in infield.
And right now, as a hitter, he should be thinking about 2 RBIs with the score 7-0 in the fourth.
This is popped up. Logan Forsythe in foul ground makes the catch, and Navarro is retired. Now there are 2 down. Now Justin Smoke, he like Navarro is a switch hitter. Blue Jays have 4 switch hitters in their lineup tonight. Reyes, Navarro, Smoke, and Dalton Pompey. Donaldson reached on the air by the shortstop, but Bautista walked. They both moved up on the pass ball by Rene Rivera. Blue Jays looking to score in 4 straight innings to start the game.
It'll take a 2-out hit by Smoke, and if he does, he'll get his first RBI of the season. That was a pretty good hack right there. Pretty good swing. He's a little bit more aggressive at the plate than what we have seen in the past.
Working with a hitting coach for the first time in Brooke Jacoby, and Jacoby has encouraged him to go up there and turn it loose. Ball on a strike. Got a couple good pitches to hit. Brooke Jacoby, quiet in his approach, and he said he will listen more than he will talk, trying to get to know his hitters and hear what they have to say.
Yeah, and that's important when you are coming to a new organization, a new league. Listen to what they have to say. You just get to know your players. Spring training is not enough time to get to know your players.
Well, nowadays, these guys will start hitting at 7 in the morning in the batting cage. So that's why so many teams have 2 hitting coaches. The Blue Jays have 2 for the first time. Eric Owens is the assistant hitting coach, and these guys, boy, they work a lot. Hitters will be down in that cage. You get to the ballpark early, they're still watering and mowing the grass, and you hear the crack of the bat in the batting cage. There's a base hit. That's going to score 2. Donaldson's in to score. Here comes Bautista, and Justin Smoke has just driven in his first 2 runs of the season. 9-0 Blue Jays.
When you're aggressive early at the count, for some reason as a hitter, you just feel more comfortable. You're ready to swing the bat until your eyes tell you it's out of the strike zone. He had 2 good hacks early in the count, and then with 2 strikes, that's still a good swing. Down, stay on top of that ball, create some backspin, and drive in those runs. Clutch 2-out hit.
Donaldson and Bautista have scored 2 runs each. Good balance in the lineup. Kevin Pillar is 2 for 2. He's scored 2 runs and driven in a run. Kevin Cash and Tom Foley is bench coach. Just trying to figure out what they do. They have given up 9 runs on 9 hits, and we're in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and after this inning, they still have 4 more innings that they need a pitcher to get through. You don't want to start burning out your bullpen. Having to go to, I told you they already made a roster move. I think this offense is going to do this a few times this year to teams.
This is a pop into foul territory. Long run for Forsythe. Oh, what a play. Forsythe reaching back over his shoulder makes the catch to end the inning, but the Blue Jays just score 2 more. They lead it 9-0. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.
Go deep inside the Stanley Cup playoffs with hockey's best roster of experts. Hockey Central every night at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific on Sportsnet. And the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs began tonight. Ottawa and the Habs are tied at 2. That game on CBC. So if you have the picture-in-picture, you put the Jays in one, hockey game in the other. Perfect combo. Buck?
Thank you, Barry. Actually, Montreal just now scored, so they needed 3-2. So we'll have you covered. We've got baseball here, lots of hockey going on, and the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. Mark Burley, he's a run magnet so far this season.
What did they get last time he pitched? 10?
12, I think.
12.
Friday night in Baltimore, Blue Jays scored 12 runs on 16 hits.
Oh, they only got 11 when he was pitching.
Oh, okay. Isn't there always a guy on a pitching staff?
Always.
Gets a lot of runs.
And it's the guy behind him say, hey, man.
What about me?
Save some of those for me. I'm pitching tomorrow.
Well, if the Blue Jay bats were going to heat up, tonight's a good night because they have Chris Archer on the mound tomorrow night for Tampa Bay, and he's a tough customer. Young Chris Archer has taken over as #1 pitcher with the injuries, and he's got #1 stuff.
Well, he certainly does. He's got a good arm.
Archer for his career 2-1 against the Blue Jays with a good ERA at 3.38. They posed by Aaron Sanchez, who lasted just 3 1/3, his first time out. He's anxious to get another opportunity. Beckham strikes out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Thank you, Jamie. Alex Rodriguez is swinging the bat well. He's 2 for 2 tonight, hitting .296 for the season. He's got 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. Off to a good start.
He's been their best hitter. He has looked good.
Brandon Guyer, the leadoff man. Ball on a strike to the Rays left fielder. The Blue Jays have lost the first 2 games of their homestand. They'll play 10 games overall. 4 games against Tampa Bay. Atlanta in town for a 3-game weekend series. Then after the off day on Monday, the Blue Jays will welcome in the Baltimore Orioles. Or he could paint that inside corner. 4 strikeouts now for Burley. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 5th.
Cutter both sides of the plate, a little fade changeup to go away from the right-handers. And since Navarro has been catching him starting last year, the strikeouts have gone up for Burley. A lot of them right like that against those righties. We mentioned at the top 24 strikeouts last year for Burley against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's the highest of any opponent last year.
He got 11 of those in 1 game, his first start of the season down in St. Petersburg. This is Steven Souza Jr., who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Just back and forth, in and out. Burley never shakes the catcher off. He just works quickly and just figures if he executes the pitch, it'll be a pretty good pitch. He said, I just have confidence in my catchers, and he's thrown to a lot of different catchers.
Doesn't look at the scouting report. He has an idea. He's got a good feel for the game.
This one's hit a long way, and it's going to sail into the second deck. Steven Souza, well, we talk about his power. He had a home run here to dead center last night. It's his 2nd home run of the season. His 4th big league homer.
You know, and this one might be just as far. What was it, 463 feet to dead center field in last night's ball game. Tonight, 3-1. Pitch on the inner half, and he turned on it. He's got a nice short swing and some definite pop, some sound as he finishes that one off to left field.
This ball is hit down the right side off the bat of Asdrubal Cabrera. Souza was acquired in a 3-team trade on the 19th of December, and you can see with that kind of power why he was the focal point for Tampa Bay. They gave up Will Myers, sent him to San Diego.
They needed some power. They weren't real sure if Will Myers was going to turn into the power hitter that they thought he was going to be. This guy certainly is showing off the last couple of nights.
Souza hit 18 home runs in AAA for the Nationals last year. He hit 2 home runs in the big leagues in just 23 at bats. He's a little bit older. He'll turn 26 on the 24th of April. Batista over in the alley in right center. He makes the catch. Burley's out of the 5th. He gives up a run. The Rays are on the board. Steven Souza with another home run. Blue Jays have a commanding 9-1 lead. Jeff Beliveau still into the ball game. It's kind of appropriate. He's pitching in this game on the night the Stanley Cup playoffs start. Alan Dykstra comes into the ball game to play first base. That pushes the starter at first over to third. Logan Forsythe's at third base. Evan Longoria is out of the game. Mikey Matsu is in center, taking over for Kevin Kiermaier. It's a real challenge for us tonight. It's Jackie Robinson Day, and everybody's wearing 42.
And there's new players in the league that you're just not familiar with yet. The worst thing you want to happen on a day like today, right?
It's like a spring training game. We know who this is. This is Dalton Pompey. 8-9-1 for the Blue Jays here in the fifth. Blue Jays have 9 runs on 9 hits. Jose Bautista got it all started with a 2-run home run in the first. A high fly ball into shallow right. Souza coming in quickly. 1 down.
The championship-winning Honda CRF 450R for those who dare to ride red.
Great shot of downtown Toronto, just a few blocks away from Rogers Center. CN Tower standing high above it all. Devin Travis had an RBI double in the third. Of course, you know Travis played in Double-A last year with the Detroit Tigers. He played at Erie in the Eastern League, and this is his first taste of big league baseball. He looks right at home. There are going to be adjustments. I mean, how many rookies have we seen come up and have a straight line to success? It's kind of an up and down start. You're thinking Al Kaline maybe?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Al Kaline won a batting title early on as a teenager. Yeah. There haven't been many of them.
You know, the great ones, the Hall of Famers can do it, where they make the game look so easy. But for the most part, for us mere mortals, it takes some time, and there are growing pains and ups and downs with any major league player. Hey, you're coming to the best league on the planet. You're facing the best pitchers. There's not a lot of guys who just come up here and dominate and stay that way.
What was it like for you when you first got to the big leagues, and how much different was the pitching you were facing than what you saw in the minors?
You know, I had that discussion with Dalton Pompey today, and I asked him, I said, Dalton, that ball is ripped foul. I said, tell me about the difference in the minor leagues today as opposed to the major leagues. You went through 4 different levels last year, and he said in A-ball I would face 1 good pitcher a night. That was it. When I got to Double-A, I'd see 2 good pitchers at the most. Triple-A, he'd get 3. That ball's fouled by Travis. He said in the major leagues here, everybody's good, and the bullpens are deep and they throw hard, and it's so true. Minor leagues, low minor leagues, you might get 1 good pitcher. They go to the bullpen and you start lighting up those guys.
You might get 1 good pitcher in a series. Not necessarily 1 a night. It's just so thin. You know, anybody that's dominant, and we've got proof of that in our bullpen, they shoot right to the big leagues from A-ball.
They're in the minor leagues for a reason.
Yeah.
Some of those guys. And low minors because they aren't very good yet.
Full count. 1 out to Devin Travis. That's a deep drive to left field. Geyer back at the wall. Goodbye home run number 2. for Devin Travis, his first here at Rogers Center.
He's waiting back on that breaking ball. And because his approach is so good at the plate, when you wait back, then you get everything into the swing. Devin Travis is showing that he belongs in the big leagues. Smoked the ball off the top of the wall in right field his last time up, and then a low breaking ball that he knocks out of the ballpark. But watch how he stays back and adjusts as this breaking ball is coming in. He stays back and then goes and then drops the barrel of the bat. Stays on that hitting plane and through.
You know what you do after you hit a home run like that? You go sit next to the hitting coach. That ball was off the end of the bat. He didn't really hit it on the sweet spot, but he had great extension with that bottom hand and really stayed on the ball.
That's right. And he got everything into it. He got his lower half into it by staying back on the breaking ball. And then you can go and talk about it with your hitting coach.
Again, Brooke Jacoby listening to one of his hitters. Tell me what you saw. And Jacoby will make notes for himself to remind himself when Devin has some problems. He'll go back to that home run and say, okay, now remember what you told me when you hit that home run.
What were you looking for? What was your approach? Hey, he hit that ball to right field with something on it.
This is Steve Tollison batting for Reyes. He takes ball 4. So Reyes is out of the game early. A chance to get him off his feet. A chance to get Tollison some playing time. Reyes finishes up 1 for 3. This is one of those nights for the Blue Jays where everything is clicking offensively, and for the Rays, it's one of those nights where Jeff Beliveau is just going to have to suck it up.
Yeah, someone's going to have to take it for the team right here. Get some of your guys who are your everyday players who are going to play a lot of innings for you. Get them off their feet, get them off the turf. He's done that with Longoria out of the game and Kiermaier out of the game.
Well, you just have to think about the rest of the situation where you got guys saved for tomorrow's game. And this Jose Dominguez, who was just called up from the minor leagues, and they sent Kirby Yates down to the minors, and they needed a fresh arm, so they called upon Jose Dominguez. Josh Donaldson's had a big night. He reached on an error, and it was a hard hit ball to short that Asdrubal Cabrera couldn't make a play on. And Donaldson looking for his first home run in a Blue Jays uniform. Think he was guessing fastball?
I think so. I think he was looking for that first home run. He came so close a couple of innings ago on a ball down the left field line. He's all in on this swing. Looking for the fastball. They throw him the breaking ball.
1-2, 1 out. Tollison at first base. There's a drive to the alley in left center. That's going to get down and bounce up against the wall. Tollison's being waved around third. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. Have a night, Josh Donaldson. He's hit the ball hard 4 times.
third hit. He's been on 4 times. Third hit, a couple of singles, and now a ringing double to left field. He got that same breaking ball, just didn't break as much as the one he swung through. And hits a laser to left center field. Steve Tollison scores from first base on that double. And the Blue Jays have scored in every inning. Multiple runs.
Lots of crooked numbers up on that scoreboard. Well, the Blue Jays came into this game having scored 2 runs or less in 3 of their last 4 games. Tonight they have scored at least 2 runs in each of the first 5 innings. This team needed a game like this. They were sputtering on offense a little bit. And there's a proof of the pudding.
And everybody's talking, well, can they hit home runs? Are they going to knock the ball out of the ballpark? Why is it warning track power? Look who they were facing.
Ground ball to third. Forsythe. Long throw in time. He throws out Bautista. They ran into some pretty good pitching, and they'll face some good pitching tomorrow. And Chris Archer, Kevin Cash has popped out of the dugout, and Jeff Beliveau will turn things over to Cash. Jose Dominguez will come into the ball game to face Edwin Encarnacion when we come back. Pitcher in the game for the Rays is Jose Dominguez. As you see, Dominguez pitched for the Dodgers last year in 5 games. He was acquired last November in the Joe Peralta deal with the Dodgers.
He owns a really good arm. That's the scatter report on Dominguez. Throws very hard. His ERA, though, at 14 career major league appearances, is up over 6. And again, they're trying to figure out a way to save that bullpen for tomorrow night's ball game. Just recalled today from Durham. He replaces Kirby Yates on the active roster.
He's got a total of 14 games in the majors, and he's got a big arm. First pitch at 96 in there for a strike. Everybody on the bench will turn to one another and say, anybody know this guy? You played against him anywhere?
Give me a quick scouting report.
High chopper to third. Forsythe waits on it and throws out Encarnacion. The Blue Jays score 2 more runs in their half of the 5th. They lead it 11-1. Now it's time for the Home Hardware Cleanup Crew, brought to you by Natura. Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products.
Enjoying those big comfy chairs in the TV comfort zone tonight are special guests of TD. While over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse are some very special guests from the Jays Care Rookie League.
Thank you, Barry. Good to have those youngsters here. They're up in the Jays Care Community Center from the Rookie League. And it's good to have baseball is trying to get the youngsters involved with the RBI program in the inner cities and get baseball to the young kids all over North America. Steve Tollefson stays in the game and plays short. He pinch hit for Jose Reyes. This is Alan Dykstra. He took over at first base. Evan Longoria came out of the game, so Dykstra went to first base and Logan Forsythe went to third base. Ground ball. Smoke will go to the bag. Dykstra's retired.
Well, right now, Mark Burley wants to get in and out real quick here. His pitch count is up to 82. It's probably going to be his last inning. Save those bullets in a game like today. You're up by 10 runs. Get some work for some of the guys in the bullpen.
Desmond Jennings. Jennings had an infield hit in the fourth inning and a chopper to third that Donaldson couldn't make a play on. Sharply hit. Tollefson with a nice grab. Gets to his feet. What a play. Tested immediately as he came into the game as a pinch hitter. Takes one away from Desmond Jennings.
The ball finds you, doesn't it, whenever you get into a ball game? So you got to be ready. He was taking ground balls today during batting practice at shortstop. He's the backup shortstop. Played a lot of outfield this spring, but it looks like he's been playing there a long time. That's a good play. Strong throw over to first base. Good jump right off the carpet. Picks it and records the out over at first base. That's the thing with Mark Burley. Whenever he is on the mound, because he works so quickly and he throws so many strikes, the infielders, they are ready to make plays behind him.
It's a good way to look at it, and if you'll notice, Drew Hutchison has picked up on that tempo. He's quickened his pace on the mound. Burley and Dickey both, they really work quickly, and Hutchison's trying to quicken his pace and keep the infielders engaged. There's a drive down the left side, but that's going to go into the seats. Out of play. Logan Forsythe now at third base. Mark Burley with a big lead, and that's Todd Redmond loosening up. He appears to be ready, just throwing along with Burley. This might be Burley's last inning.
I agree too. Get 6 solid innings from him. Keep him under 100 pitches. Again, save those bullets for his next start. That last start he had when he won his 200th career game down in Baltimore, counted 3 or 4 really nice plays behind him in that game. Talking about the defense on their toes.
Burley in that game went 6 innings. Gave up 8 hits, and of course the Blue Jays had a big leader, and they scored 4 in the first and 5 in the fourth in support of Mark Burley. That's going to be a base hit, and Bautista over to cut it off. He'll get there. Forsythe hustling into second, slides in safely. And that's a great illustration of how slow this outfield is. You hit that ball on the turf that was here prior to this season, that ball would go right to the wall, no hesitation.
All the way to the wall, and it'd be a stand-up double, maybe even a triple. Jose gets over on the slide, cuts it off. And the batters know that. They've been out here for a couple of days now. They know how this field plays.
This is Mikey Matuk, who took over defensively in center field for Kevin Kiermaier. his first at bat. Had a good year last season in AAA. Fouls this back. Kevin Cash has won the first 2 games of this series. They're going to lose this one, but you see during the series they've gone 0 for 17 with runners in scoring position, and they're still up 2-0 in this series. They trail here 11-1, but they're an opportunistic team and they're not going to bang with you.
That's hard to do.
They scored 2 runs on bases loaded walks in winning 2-1 in game 1. This ball is drilled. Mikey Matchuk hit a home run. He got that pitch up out over the plate and hammered it.
Boy, he comes swinging when he gets to that plate, doesn't he? Fouled off a couple of pitches. Got one to his liking. First home run of the season.
First major league hit like Devin Travis is a big league home run. He gets the same treatment. He gets the silent treatment in the dugout as he collects his first major league hit.
Players know. Still like to have fun. Burley tried to cut that ball in and it stayed over the plate.
Travis calls off Smoke. Rivera's retired. Mark Burley goes 6 innings. He leaves with an 11-3 lead. That might be it for Burley tonight.
One nation, one team, one store. JShop.ca is the exclusive official team shop of your Toronto Blue Jays. Visit our newest flagship store at the Toronto Eaton Centre, Level 1, or visit JShop.ca. And lots of new numbers in that J Shop, including Donaldson and, of course, Justin Smoke. Buck.
Thank you, Barry. If you want to make sure you check it out, Jay's Shop right here at Rogers Center. Mark Burley gets a handshake from John Gibbons for a job well done. Burley will improve to 2-0 for the season.
No need to extend him with an 11-3 lead.
Burley leaves throwing 98 pitches over 6 innings. So Deanna Navarro will start things off. Navarro hitless in the game. He has scored a run. He had a leadoff walk into third, came around to score. Navarro scored on Kevin Pillar's RBI double in the third. Third pitcher of the night is Jose Dominguez. Starter Erasmo Ramirez went 3 1/3. He was charged with 9 runs, 7 earned runs on 8 hits. Jeff Beliveau pitched an inning in the third. He gave up 2 runs.
He was pitching in and out of trouble all night, wasn't he? Ramirez, 3 walks to go along with those 8 hits in just 3 1/3 inning. Trying to throw some breaking balls. That didn't work. Home run balls back for the Blue Jays.
2 home runs tonight. Jose Bautista hit a 2-run homer in the first. Devin Travis a solo shot in the 5th. Both Bautista and Travis home runs number 2. Three balls and a strike to the Blue Jays catcher. Aaron Sanchez will go to the mound tomorrow for the Blue Jays. He'll be opposed by young right-hander Chris Archer. Pulled on the ground. Dykstra gets it and he'll go to the bag. 1 down. Mark Burley, we mentioned, in line to go 2-0 for the season. He goes 6 innings, 7 hits. He gave up a pair of home runs, walked the batter and struck out. 4, just under 100 pitches for Burley.
Just did his thing. I mean, he goes out there, he doesn't change anything. He says, here's the ball, let's see if you can hit it. I'll change speeds, hit my spots. If you do that, he's going to get outs. They got some runs tonight to work with.
He's been doing it a long time. This is his 15th season. And you talk about consistency. He's the same pitcher year in and year out. Justin Smoak's had a good night. 1 for 2 officially. He walked. He's also singled and picked up a couple of RBIs. His first 2 runs batted in this season. Three and 0. Kevin Pillar has had a good night as well. Hitters have taken advantage of Tampa Bay tonight. Ball 4. 1 out, 1 on. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Kyle Gibson on the mound for Minnesota. He has held Kansas City to a run on 5 hits through 4 innings. Well, Kansas City is really doing a good job. They've got some gaudy batting average. Mike Moustakas 2 for 2 tonight. He's hitting .407 to start the season. Alcides Escobar hitting .375. Lorenzo Cain .379. Kendrys Morales .400.
Making it look easy.
Yeah, that's how you go 7-0.
Well, they're getting great pitching and a great bullpen. And what'd you say? They've made 1 error this year?
1 error.
Kansas City Royals, 1 error. And all that hitting. Those young position players coming into their own.
Kansas City going into action tonight, 3rd in the American League with a .257 earned run average. Oakland, Detroit, Kansas City.
No James Shields.
Lark turns on that inside heater. How about Oakland? Oakland and Detroit, every year they just pitch. Oakland leads the American League with a .214 team earned run average, and Detroit .250. 1 and 2 in the league.
The names may change in Oakland.
Bouncing ball is short. Cabrera to Beckham, back to first in time. Double play. The Blue Jays are done in the 6th. We'll move to the 7th. Blue Jays offense clicking on all cylinders. Todd Redmond will come into the game.
Sportsnet has you covered for every live Blue Jays game on TV and radio. For daily coverage, headlines, analysis, and schedule, visit sportsnet.ca/Blue Jays or join the conversation at Sportsnet. And a great story up today by Shai Davidi about the way John Gibbons handled the bullpen last night using Castro in the 7th inning, and it was a hot topic of conversation.
Thank you, Barry. Certainly you find all the latest information with those great crew of reporters that cover the Blue Jays. Todd Redmond into the ball game. Redmond taking over from Mark Burley. This will be his 2nd appearance of this season.
He had a rough start to his 2015. Todd pitched 4 days ago in Baltimore, a couple of innings, had 3 walks, and had 4 earned runs. That's why that ERA is inflated. So a chance to bring it down here tonight.
There's a deep drive to left field. Pilar at the wall, at the track, jumps and...
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He's got it.
Oh, my goodness.
Do it all, Kevin. What a terrific catch. He brings it back in the ballpark.
That is one of the finest catches I have ever seen by a Blue Jay outfielder. He didn't give up. He gave it his all. He was determined, and the fans are giving him a standing ovation in left field.
He has put on a show in left field. Remember what he did in Baltimore, crashed into the wall to take extra bases from Chris Davis. This is terrific. Timed it perfectly. What an effort.
Man. He looked at the wall he glanced at it one more time before he timed that leap. Used the wall as a brace to jump up. Full extension. And plucks it right before it leaves the ballpark. That's one of the best I've ever seen right there. Watch where this ball is. It's over the wall, but not for long. He comes down. Wow.
Josh Donaldson couldn't believe it at third. I think everybody assumed that was out of the ballpark. Everybody but Kevin Pilar. Rajay Davis made a catch like that a couple of years ago where he timed it in a similar fashion. This is Brandon Geyer. He hits one to right. Bautista will have a much easier play on this fly ball. 2 down.
It's got to be your highlight of the night. Right there, Beckham thinks he has his second home run of the season. Kevin Pillar. Liftoff.
He played great in Baltimore. Made that sliding catch in foul territory where his glove nearly popped off. He cradled the glove and the baseball to record the out. He has 3 outfield assists. You're going to see that a lot.
Yes. All over the news. If that's not the best play of the night, something's got to be out of this world.
There have been some great defensive plays in the early going. Nolan Arenado made a play in San Francisco last night. The third baseman for the Rockies went into foul ground, jumped up on the tarp, caught a ball, and then had the presence of mind to try to get the runner advancing to third. 1-2.
But that would have just been a foul ball if he didn't catch it. Kevin Pillar, if he doesn't catch that, that's a run.
Strike 3 call. Steven Souza Jr. called out on strikes. A good inning for Tyler Edman because he had great defense. Kevin Pillar hears it from the crowd. Kevin Pillar has really played well in the field. This is in Baltimore during this series against the Orioles. He made 3 outstanding catches in this one. Watch his glove. He rolls over his glove. The ball's inside his glove. He cradled it, and then this one tonight tops them all.
You know, the thing on all of those catches that you notice is the determination in his face that he is not going to give up. He's going to go after those balls until he can't catch them. And he wants to play. He wants to play in the outfield, and he's doing one heck of a job defensively and with the bat for the Blue Jays.
Kevin Pillar is a natural center fielder, and he can play all 3 outfield positions, and right now it's going to be hard to take him out of left. Whoa, wow, look at that. Dalton Pompey into the second deck. Third home run of the night for the Blue Jays. A leadoff homer here in the 7th off Ernesto Frieri.
Home run number 2 for Dalton Pompey. Frieri just in the game. Serves up a fastball right down the middle. And he can turn on some fastballs.
Hey, Pat. Ball's carrying tonight.
Everybody made a big deal about the ball's not carrying it. Hey, they were facing some tough pitching.
Devin Travis A 3-hit night.
We have seen Dalton tee off on some fastball. This time he gets it going. Gets that swing going, gets that lower half into it. And that's in the second deck.
A great sound on contact when he hit that ball. 12-3. Blue Jays have scored in all but the 6th inning. Steve Tollefson with his second at bat. He walked and scored in the 5th. Tollefson scored on the RBI double by Josh Donaldson. Devin Travis, double home run single.
I got to get some work to do if he's going to hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. Have a chance for a cycle.
Tollefson pulls it foul. Blue Jays got the hitting shoes on. Kevin Pillar with a home run robbing catch in left field. Devin Travis with his first 3-hit game of his career. Lots going on tonight for the Blue Jays. Devin Travis hit his second home run in the 5th as Tollefson is called out. Travis, home run number 2 on the season. And that second home run came in the first 9 games for the Blue Jays. Last season, Blue Jays second baseman didn't collect their second home run until May 23rd.
May 23rd. I couldn't even tell you who did it.
But that was a real concern at the start of this season. Who was going to play second base?
I think we have our answer.
Josh Donaldson's had a 3-hit game. Bouncing ball to short. Cabrera shovels to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. So the 7th inning ends quickly. But Dalton Pompey scores another run with a long home run into the second deck. Told you in the open tonight that sometimes you find diamonds in the rough lower in the draft. Kevin Pillar is one of those diamonds, and he's starting to really shine now. This is his 3rd year up in the big leagues.
Yeah, those guys in the lower parts of the draft, they don't have anything handed to them like some of those bonus babies do, and they got to work for everything. They got to prove themselves day in and day out in the minor leagues, and then just ask for a shot. Just give me a shot, and either I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it.
And Kevin Pillar's had to do that throughout his entire career, even coming out of high school. He was a three-sport athlete in the Valley in California, north of LA. Went to a Division II school, Cal State Dominguez Hills. And when he got there, he told me that he talked to all the players and said, listen, you guys aren't good enough to play D1 baseball, so you got to do all the little things. And Kevin Pillar has never forgotten that.
And you can't take anything for granted. You got to get out there and you got to prove yourself every day.
Nothing wrong with that. Tell you what, competition is heating up on this ball club. As the talent level rises, playing time is a competition. And you know what? Managers are funny like that, you know. If you play well, you're going to play a lot.
You're going to play. Exactly. John Gibbons has shown that in the past.
John Gibbons doesn't care where you got drafted.
Yeah.
You make catch and hit home runs, you're going to play. This is a high fly ball. Pillar coming in. One down. No matter where he played, Kevin Pillar has always hit. Look at his batting average. In rookie league, he hit .347. A-ball. He hit .322 and was the MVP in the Midwest League in 2011. He kept hitting all throughout his career. AAA .315. For his career in the minors, he hit .321. And when you hit, you can just hit. And there were times when he was overmatched by his own admission. He said, I was intimidated when I first came to the big leagues.
And he would learn as he came along. Tim Leeper was telling the story the other day that he had him down in the minor leagues, and he said he did something every single day to change the game in our favor. Every day.
That was an interesting story. Tim Leeper was the farm director, the director of minor leagues, and he went to fill in for the AAA manager, Gary Allenson. And when he got there, he was managing a team. He goes, who is this Pillar guy?
Yeah,
He's doing something every day.
He had no idea who he was. Well, I shouldn't say he doesn't have no idea. He didn't know what type of player he was. Started watching him, and he said he's the kind of guy you have to watch every single day. He's going to do something to help you win a ball game.
And to his credit, Kevin Pillar has become more disciplined at the plate. You remember when he first got here, he would swing at balls in the other batter's box, just trying to make an impression.
You know, we had that shot of his numbers in the minor leagues, and you and I were talking about that before the game. If that was a bonus baby, a #1 pick, people would be gushing over that guy. If you saw a #1 pick with those types of batting averages coming up through the farm system, he'd be the #1 rated prospect in all of baseball in all the magazines.
Isn't that the truth? This is Bobby Wilson, who has come on to pinch hit. But you're right. And, you know, you have a tendency, because he was a 32nd round pick, to say, well, you know, he's hitting okay, but that'll change when he gets to the next level. Well, you know, they're really going to make adjustments, and he won't hit in AA. Well, you know, he probably won't hit anything in AAA. But he always did. And now he's hitting in the big leagues.
And he's taking guys out at second base, and he's scoring from second base on a base hit. He's playing good defense. He's leading the American League in outfield assists. Okay. What else do you need? What else?
Sign autographs and kiss babies.
You don't need any more proof, do you? Maybe you do. I don't know.
Tell you what, it's hard to take him out of the line. And we mentioned the bottom part of this order. Once again, they have done a great job tonight. Kevin Pillar, Dalton Pompey, and Devin Travis. And if they keep that up with all the veterans in the top of the order, it's going to be a tough offense.
It'll be fun.
Devin Travis, with his first career 3-hit game, has collected his second home run. Pompey with his second home run. Dalton has a bunt, single, and a 2-run home and a solo home run. Bobby Wilson called out on strikes.
Make a grand entrance during the DIY Expert Sale, only at Home Building Center and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Beautiful shot of Rogers Center, all lit up tonight. And the Blue Jays have lit it up inside. 12 runs on 13 hits. They've hit 3 home runs. Home runs have been tough to come by. They have not hit a home run in their losses. And they came into this game with 6 home runs in their 4 wins. No home runs in their 4 losses. John Gibbons knew this offense would come around, but he didn't realize it would be the simple act of putting Josh Donaldson in the 2-hole. Ground ball to short. Donaldson flips to second for the force out. The Blue Jays get another home run, this one from the bat of Dalton Pompey. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zorn. The drive of the game is presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Well, everybody was worried about the Blue Jays and not hitting home runs. Well, it didn't take long. Third batter of the night for the Blue Jays, Jose Bautista, tees off against Erasmo Ramirez with this long, high drive to left field. His second home run of the season got the Blue Jays off with that 2-run home run. Our drive of the game tonight brought to you by Jose Bautista.
That got the Blue Jays off and running, and the Jays have hit 3 home runs tonight. Bautista's 2-run shot in the first, Devin Travis a solo home run in the 5th, and Dalton Pompey a solo shot leading off the 7th. Veteran Grant Balfour comes in to pitch the 8th.
All zeros for Balfour this year. He's been unscored upon in 4 games. Pitched a perfect 8th inning in last night's ball game for the Blue Jays.
He's allowed just 2 hits. Balfour, having a conversation with him earlier, said his velocity's starting to creep up a little bit. Generally gets stronger early in the season. Danny Valencia batting for Jose Bautista. Blue Jays with a big night at the plate. 12 runs on 13 hits. Danny Valencia understands that this can be an important at bat for him. Gets a chance to have an AB against a right-handed pitcher. Wants to play a little bit more.
But you know what? He knows his role on this team. He'll back up at first base. He'll back up at third base. He might even have to play a little outfield. He'll get his at-bats against the left-handers. Unfortunately for him, they just haven't faced that many. Only one, CC Sabathia.
Get a chance to see one here on Saturday. Alex Wood, the left-hander for the Braves, will pitch in that game. It's a high fly ball into shallow center. Mikey Matuk comes in and makes the catch. Valencia's retired. Edwin Encarnacion has gone 0 for 4 tonight. But they haven't needed his bat.
They will, but they haven't needed it tonight.
And they will get the production.
Strike out, a couple of fly balls, and a ground out for Edwin tonight.
First pitch breaking ball. The two teams will wrap up the 4-game series tomorrow night. Aaron Sanchez and Chris Archer are the starting pitchers. Blue Jays will next see Tampa Bay on their upcoming road trip, April 24th, 25th, and 26th in St. Petersburg. The two teams will play again. It's a first stop on a 3-city road trip for the Blue Jays. It'll be Tampa Bay, Boston, and then Cleveland. And Cleveland is a 4-game series over the weekend.
And they're playing some pretty good ball right now. But you got to win this one, then win tomorrow, split the series, and then go to work against Atlanta. Atlanta's off to a good start.
Atlanta's off to a good start, much to the surprise of most of the baseball experts.
Is that a oxymoron? Baseball and experts? Is there such a thing?
No, there isn't. You just kind of go with the flow of things. Atlanta 6-2 going into action tonight. And how about the New York Mets? Mets got a tough piece of news yesterday when David Wright injured himself. Wright has since been placed on the DL with a hamstring injury. Mets off to a 5-3 start. They've won 3 in a row. Full count to Encarnacion. Bounce to short. Cabrera takes his time. 2 up, 2 down for Balfour here in the 8th. The Atlanta Braves have made a lot of changes, of course. They have turned things over. They have traded 2 Uptons.
An Upton, a Hayward, and a Kimbrel. all their named players. Freddie Freeman's still there.
Yeah, and we'll see Freddie Freeman on Friday night. Jason Grilli, the veteran, is closing for the time being, but their bullpen has pitched well in the early going, but certainly they don't have a Craig Kimbrel in that mix. Gianni Navarro has the satisfaction of being behind the plate, teaming up with Mark Buehrle again tonight. He and Buehrle seemed to mesh well, as Navarro was the catcher in Buehrle's game when he won his 200th career game on Friday night in Baltimore.
They just work well together. He has picked up the fact that Buehrle's fastball surprises people, even though it's the slowest fastball velocity wise in baseball, is very effective with it.
Beckham at second, throws out Navarro. It's all Blue Jays as we head to the 9th. 12-3 Jays. We're in the 9th inning, and right after this ball game tonight on Sportsnet, Ontario, Pacific, West, and East, you'll see Sportsnet Central with Ken Reed and Uncle Osmac. How about a little hockey action over on 360? And it's on right now. The Blackhawks and the Predators. Round 1, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. All that coming up right after this ball game. Danny Valencia moves into right field. He pinch hit for Jose Bautista. Todd Redmond in his 3rd inning of work. He took over for Mark Burley. Mikey Matuk hit his first major league home run in his last at bat. It was his first big league hit. This time he pops it up a mile high into shallow right. Evan Travis, the second baseman, goes out and makes the catch, 1 down. Now for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central, here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osmac. The catcher, Rene Rivera, 0 for 3 tonight. Ball on the strike.
Much better outing today for Todd Redmond. I think he got a little bit of a boost from that catch. First pitch he threw to Beckham. That was that catch by Pilar, and he's been good. He's just had a walk. He's retired everybody but Dykstra. Better breaking ball, better location with his fastball.
3 innings of work. He would qualify for a save, even though it's a lopsided game. It would be his 2nd major league save. He had a save last year.
Problems that he had down in Baltimore, he just couldn't get that fastball where he wanted it. Trying to get it down, and it was up and leaking out over the plate. Tonight, much better location with it.
In that game in Baltimore, he gave up a grand slam to Jonathan Scope and got himself into trouble walking Oriole batters. Second walk tonight issued by Todd Redmond. Well, tomorrow the topic of discussion around the water cooler will be this play by Kevin Pillar.
Look how far he has to go. Times it up and over the fence. In a lopsided game, Kevin Pillar is playing all out. What a catch.
All this offense tonight, and Kevin Pillar's play is going to be played over and over and over again. Tim Beckham, he was the victim of that Pillar catch in left. Kevin has the attitude, and it's the right approach. Hey, you never know when you might get out here again, so you better take advantage of your playing time.
And he has, with the bat, with his arm, now with his glove.
0-2 to the number 9 hitter, Tim Beckham. Beckham had a bunt base hit in the 3rd inning. There's his 2nd hit of the night. Pass to diving Steve Tollison into left field. Beckham is 2 for 4. This is an important outing for Redmond in that if he can close it out, and he should, Blue Jays will have all the fresh arms in the bullpen for the series finale.
That is a great point. They would just need 2 pitchers tonight.
It's the first time the Blue Jays will have used just 2 pitchers, a starter and a reliever. Previous low number of pitchers used in a game was 3, and boy, you like that. Get a good start and lots of offense, and then just use 1 reliever.
Everybody gets another day. Roberto Osuna could have used another day. John Gibbons was telling me today he was available, but he would like to have given him 1 more day. It looks like he'll be able to do that. He's looked good.
Yes, he and Castro both have thrown well. The lefties have been good, and now Todd Redmond has given them a good outing tonight. 1-2, 1 out. So all the concern about the ball not flying out of Rogerson. There are 5 home runs in this game tonight. Blue Jays have 3, Tampa Bay 2. Base hit, pulled through the left side. They're going to stop Rivera at third. Brandon Guyer with his first hit of the night.
A couple of base hits on sliders. And he's been spotting that fastball. He's up to 43 pitches tonight. You know, Gibby wants him to get through this. He doesn't want to have to go to Colt Hines.
Hines now loosening up. It's 12-3. Bases are loaded, just 1 out. This is the powerful Steven Souza Jr. He homered in the 5th. His 2nd home run of the series.
Todd got him last time. He was up to finish off the 7th inning by throwing a fastball by him for strike 3.
There's a strike. It's 1-1. Jackie Robinson Day, number 42, prominent everywhere in ballparks around North America. There's a deep drive to left field. This ball is off the top of the wall. 1 run is in. Tim Beckham coming right behind him. He's going to score. Guyer stops at third. Steven Souza, a 2-run double.
Well, he's got some easy power, doesn't he? He doesn't overswing. That ball's elevated like that, and he hit that ball hard to left field.
That was just about a foot away from being a grand slam.
Missed with that fastball. Look at that. It's a nice, easy swing. Yeah, right off the top of the wall. And that hit right there by Souza will send John Gibbons out and then go to the bullpen.
Todd Redmond with just 1 out here in the 9th. Colt Hines will come in to face Asdrubal Cabrera when we come back. Colt Hines comes into the game with 1 out here in the 9th. This will be his 4th appearance.
Pitched in last night's ball game, the 9th inning. A couple of strikeouts, a couple of base hits. 3 games, no record. Trying to finish this one off.
Bouncing ball to short. Tollefson will go to first. Geyer comes in to score. But now there are 2 outs. Cabrera will be credited with an RBI. Alan Dykstra came in the ballgame defensively in the 6th. He has grounded out and walked. Dykstra picked up his first big league hit here on Monday night. Got a single in the 4th inning.
He got his first big league hit. Matuk got his first big league hit.
Yep.
Home run.
The Rays have 7 rookies on this team. 1 more than the Blue Jays.
How about that? With all the injuries that they have had, they've had some rookies play some prominent roles here early in the season.
Mikey Matuk, his first big league hit was a 2-run home run in the 6th off of Mark Burley. Ball 4. A 2-out walk here in the 9th. The Rays have scored 3 in the 9th. And now Brett Cecil is throwing.
I bet you he didn't think he was going to get up when this inning started. 12-3. First guy goes out. Now Cecil's got to get up and get loose.
Outside, this is Bobby Wilson, who struck out as a pinch hitter in the 8th. Wilson batting in the DH spot. This is going to drop in front of Pompey. Souza comes in to score. Dykstra stops at second. It's a 4-run inning. Bobby Wilson with an RBI single.
And just like that, the Rays have batted around here in the 9th inning. Right after the first guy went down, Hines walks a batter and then serves this fastball out over the plate, and Wilson delivers. Play by Pompey to get over and cut that ball off, where that's extra bases and another run.
Wilson's first RBI of the season, and John Gibbons has made the call to the bullpen. So when he was hopeful of having Todd Redmond close out this game, he will use his second left-hander this inning. Colt Hines lifted in favor of Brett Cecil. into the top of the ninth, trailing by 9. They have scored 4 runs here. Todd Redden started the inning. Cole Hines came on in relief, and now the third Blue Jay pitcher to work this inning, Brett Cecil.
Not a save situation for Brett as he comes in to try and nail down that that last out. Brett is unscored upon in his last 24 appearances.
Logan Forsythe goes after the first pitch and hammers it, but foul. Forsythe's had 2 hits. Tampa Bay now with 11 hits. That's 1 more than they collected in the first 2 games. Cecil quickly ahead, 0-2.
This is where Brett has been so good the last couple of years, coming in with runners on base. He's got weapons to get you out. Good fastball and a good curveball. That is a shot of Miguel Castro standing there just in case.
He'll sit down now. Cecil strikes out Forsythe. The Blue Jays win it 12-7. Offense putting up big numbers, 13 hits, including 3 home runs, and it was a good night all around.
Yesterday we're talking about, well, when are the Blue Jays going to knock the ball out of the ballpark here at Rogers Center? Tonight was the night. Jose Bautista got him off in the first inning with that home run. Josh Donaldson had a big game in his first appearance in the second spot in the batting order, and Kevin Pillar stole the show with that home run saving catch in left field. All the way around, a good win for the Blue Jays.
Evan Travis with his first 3-hit game of his career. Pompey with his second home run. Same for Travis. Bautista got it started with a 2-run homer in the first. Stay tuned. Coming up, Sportsnet Central. A couple of hockey games on 360. You can see the Blackhawks and Predators. CBC, the Flames and Canucks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. Sportsnet Central coming right up. Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman.